we always give you, and I always emphasize and telling you that whenever we come like this, we make sure that we put you in your right place. And of course, it's a Thursday, and at TBT we always try to remind you back. It's a throwback Thursday with an Isaiah as usual. Every Thursday we all have the theme of the night. Where yesterday we had the 12-20 countdown. And today is a throwback Thursday, and tomorrow we shall be having the weekly roundup. The weekly roundup, it will be going down on Friday, where we shall be talking about all the let me say the celebrity gossip, whatever inspire, whatever has been going on throughout the week, and of course we shall be blazing and we'll be splitting it down to you tomorrow. That is every Friday. But for now, we are telling you that we have been playing music, giving you the throwback music back to back, right, since this time started. And of course, it's all about giving you good music. And I remember, those days back then, people of late, I don't understand why people are failing to take use of letter writing. Sometimes those days, somebody can just copy up songs, When you want to send some love letter to your friend, even if you want to blast your friend, there's a way they used to. Somebody will go and sit next to the radio, and of course listen to the lyrics and copy the lyrics down into a love letter. If it's a love song, then the person will copy exactly the song, the version of all those songs in a paper, then send it to the beloved one. Maybe you might be crashing on someone. Those were the things that we back then people used to do. But of course, lately now, I believe that it has reduced. Few does that still in some villages. They do practice that, but I don't know. I think it's just because of the because of the current trend, because everything has its own time. And I believe that back then, it's because the social media thing was not that much in Africa, most especially where I come from. We used to sometimes, even when you want to send some, let me say like a death message, somebody can travel. You can walk on foot. You will be given a letter. You walk on foot for over kilometers. You walk kilometers to just go and deliver that, because back then, the means of communication was very, 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 very hard. And of course, the only way that you can get to understand or know, it was, we had some few radio stations back then, and the means of communication was a kind of very tricky. And when somebody happens to pass on, you really need to go, like door to door, not unlike now. And of course, now when something happens, just 1 minute, trust me, before you know it, everybody is aware about. Most of the people are now aware about that. But back then, it used to be very, very, very hard. Now, talking about entertainment, also back then in entertainment, we had a lot of, we had so many type of entertainment back then, but most especially, it was the traditional things. The traditional things in where I come from, they call it guitar. I don't know, we used to play guitar, the aguara, the ndaras, Back then, I don't know how you call it in your language, but of course, in my language, which these were the source of entertainment we used to have back then. Tugu Nemachalo or Pinogi, those were the types of games back then people used. But when you look at it now, and people are not practicing it. That's why most of the people are forgetting the culture. And right now, if I'm told any cultural song is played, people don't intend to ignore. People intend to ignore such kind of thing. But for me, at a certain point, I'll also not blame people much, because the current trend has really dominated so much. And the people that I should talk, the people that I can send this message to and complain to, I think it's the casual leaders. The casual leaders, they have kind of relaxed. Because whatever they do right now, they have also ventured into the current trend. Back then, you see, annually, you feel not even annual, every time, every year, at least more than thrice, some cultural activity always takes place. But here, the current life we are living now. But I always appreciate Buganda. Why am I saying that? Because they stick to the culture. Though they have some music that also that talks about that sounds bad in the ears of some of the people, but still in that root of their cultural thing, they are also they are kind of somewhere there, sticking to that. And then particularly Alurus, and I've seen currently as we speak, and of course Alur, they are also trying to pull up their socks. But there's one thing that I always tell people, and I always do talk about the Alur Cultural Festival. In that cultural festival, I expect so many things to take place. But I've never been there. But of course, everything we always see on social media, and the way it's done, I don't think that one there, it's the right way that, when you talk about cultural things, let everything be cultural. But I've seen they have really changed the trend of the cultural, and the name itself, it's a brand. Cultural Festival. Whether it being Buganda Cultural Festival, or Aluru Cultural Festival, Lukbara Cultural Festival, or else Madi Cultural Festival, maybe even Kebu Cultural Festival. So there's a way, there are those things in cultures that people expect, to be revived, to be given a throwback of those things. The reason that's why people go in large number is to understand some of the people, some of the generations that were not there back then. And that will be the only place where they will get to understand what culture was all about, what culture is all about. But now we intend to change everything, upside down with the current trend, which is not the right thing. That I think Saj, the capital guy, I don't think it's the right thing. So we really need to practice one way or the other to make sure that the culture itself remains as it is. The culture itself is being practiced each and every single time. That's why you see sometimes we have seen so many broken marriages. It's because back then, I am sorry to cut across that, because it's really happening in the community. We have seen so many people, you get married, before you know it, you are apart. Why? It's because people say, back then they used to say, you go to your aunt must train you, your mother, before you get married. But of course, right now as we speak, those things are not being practiced. A lady of 15 years thinks that she has already made it. A guy of 20 years thinks he has already made it, he's ready for everything. But that is not the way to go. We really need to practice our culture so that we can move in the right path. Sajab Sister remains my name, and of course, Western Television is the television that we're watching. But of course, currently today, what we shall be talking about, throwback. We do always try to, to refresh your mind, to take you back, and give you the details give you everything. Like CHUKU-CHUKU, we always give you everything. Miri pain cheke. Okay, the watch any a chon. Inero moti chon manangwa bedonga means for communication. Yore mi wech kudano ubedu tung man yore ne bedu tek. Inwangani akanyo to ire kakamoku niketo dan mayo lokacha ninge jomoko gibedi kodo obilogi ya jomoko gibedi kodo bilo moko goyo lang chalo kama aiye ipachfa kama aiye paibe war zumbu nyukale mbe moko mato moku nen kuwinjire kabedu moku watie ku cultural olang mamu chako chon. Inwangani aju goyo lang echa ketu nidhano unge kaju goyo lang echa utie kitemi go gidetie kanyo utie nambu de utie kitemi go kanyo to nyodana madako tore ingeo ni ajugo lang ete nyuwanga ngwen ete juganyo ngeo ni adana madako nyumanyako udar pini tore kanyo dana manyicho jugo lang ete wangade kigabi beru kuna ngeti yeni alemeni ki ete kiberu means for communication machon mubedi timre odoke komar inwanga ni achon dano inwanga atitingu wer eketu wer beyuak ega mechako winjwer echa kane be mite kiewo nyowaraga moko ni nyara mara pare nyomi ni jala mara pare echako coping lembeni gizo achiel kuda achiel e kiewo gi karatasi ga mechwalo ni ng'at biri school lembeni bedi timre inwani apol kare moko ng'at de chwalo love letter eni gi according to what love were ni gi inwa ng'at chwalo donc echa gibedo